my question is, oh wait, hi, I'm Raul Herrera, if you don't know me. Right, so my question is, why is everyone so afraid of guns? And like, yes, there's obvious reasons for that. I'll get to that in a second. So, next slide. So, for right now, the main reasons that I'm going to list are murder, massacre, school shootings that have been going on recently, and just the way they look. And again, I'll get to that in a second. But I'm going to start off with the question is, how many of you have at least $10 in your pocket right now? Right, so a lot of you. So, but I'll get back to that again in a second, and you'll see why. All right, next. Go ahead. So, the truth about guns is that in 2012, only 322 people were killed with a weapon of any kind, compared to car accidents that was a lot more. I think I've heard that before. Anyway, I know that car accidents had resulted in more deaths than any firearm death, accidental or intentional, in the year of 2012. And, so yeah, go ahead. Next one. So, the reason why I'm doing this whole project is because of the government and in general the media's view of what they call an assault rifle. So, what an assault rifle actually is actually a political topic. It's not really a type of gun. It's what the government deems is something that people shouldn't own because of its cosmetic features rather than its actual firepower. So the reason I think this is so backwards is, why would you ban a gun based on how it looks rather than the abilities that it has? So like its caliber or its inertial force. So why would you do that? The reason why the government would do that, they call it, the Democratic side of our government calls it big, scary, military-looking rifles. And the Republican side, too, has some weird reason of why they should keep people armed and everything. So, but I think there should be like some sort of balance between what is allowed and what isn't. So, go to the next slide. This is a, oh wait, yeah. So this is an AR-15, what the government deems an assault rifle. And this is the fire rate of an AR-15. Just the first part. So this is a 30-round magazine on an AR-15, telescopic stock, and a forward grip.
That looks beautiful.
It just spit 30 bullets in that short span of time. So pause it right here. So the reason why, like what I was talking about, the cosmetics, this is an adjustable stock, meaning that you can adjust it to whatever your comfortable arm length is, which makes it easier for you to shoot it. And the forward grip assists your aim in shooting. So the government has deemed that these kinds of attachments are considered assault attachments, and they should not be allowed for civilian use. So my question, wait, hold on. My question of why you have $10 in your pocket is because with $10, you could do more damage than anyone who paid like $1,500 for one of these rifles. So what I'm about to show you in this next clip is one of my friends who creates guns on a normal basis. His name is on YouTube Royal and such. He created a pipe shotgun for under $5, and ammunition for at least 20 shotgun slugs costs another $5. So go to the next video and go to that time frame. What time is that?
3:35.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of World Nuts.
It's real and such.
It's a threat.
The other side fire, just show you what they can do. Alright, let's see if we can get a little first-person view of this.
So this is basically something
We'll
you
shoot it at one of the targets down there. There we go.
Alright, so my point about showing you this is, why is this legal to make something for so little amount of money, and owning something that expensive is completely banned? And I understand why it would be banned, but how is this legal and that not? So, go to the next slide for the solutions. What the government has proposed are weapon bans, specific allowance, and yeah, this is basically the municipal code for Chicago, that any semi-automatic rifle that can accept a magazine that has higher than 10 rounds or 15 rounds, telescopic stock, or protruding pistol grips, which are the tetrons that I showed you. So that's what they deemed an assault weapon. But, what's the next slide? Why gun bans don't actually work. So, first, obviously, like I was saying, people can just make their own firearms, and there's nothing legal stopping them from doing that. Also, like, most of the gun violence that occurs is happening from people who acquire them illegally anyway. So it wouldn't really be stopping anyone who's doing that in that way. And also, it prevents law-abiding citizens from actually protecting themselves. So if you were, say, you're a robber and you're trying to rob someone here in Chicago, the odds of the person you're trying to rob being armed are very slim to none. While, say, somewhere in Texas, you would think twice about that because the chances of that person having any kind of gun or weapon at all is a lot higher. So unless you really needed it, then you wouldn't do it. So what's the next? So my proposed solution is to better the education system. Because a lot of this gun violence occurs because the Latino, Hispanics, and African American people are poorly educated, and the only way they can make ends meet is through violence of any sort, including gun violence. So if we were to make a more equal opportunity for every person, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, or sexual orientation, it would make it a lot less gun violence. So to sum this up, first of all, to ban the right type of firearm. So if you're gonna ban a gun, I'd say just ban them all and not just pick and choose for whatever ulterior agenda you have. And also, safe firearm use is very important because a lot of the shootings or killings and murders happen because they don't know how to use it safely, and that happens accidentally. And make opportunities equal for all races because, like I said, the majority happens is because they have no other way to put food on the table. And they just have to resort to gun violence. Is there any questions regarding the shootings, firearms in general, why I chose the topic? I know it's a sensitive topic. Yes?
Why did you choose this topic?
Well, I chose this topic because it didn't happen long ago, but I grew a passion for firearms through my grandfather because he has a legal collection of pistols, and he showed me how to arm, disarm, like take it apart, clean it and everything, how they're made and everything, and I found that very interesting. And he told me that guns are more than just weapons of mass destruction. That guns are something a part of history. Like in every point of history, you see a gun created for a simple purpose of defending their nation. So if you go back to the 1800s, you have the Lee Enfield musket, which is the muzzle-loader black-powder rifle. And if you go a little further to the 1800s, the Russians created the Mosin Nagant, the Americans, the Springfield 1908. That was created for World War I, eventually. And a lot of those rifles stayed in service throughout and have seen a lot of service in different wars through history. So for me, my passion is history-based. And a lot of my research on firearms since learning about that has led to my greater love for history, and that's why I really love researching history too.